Okay, guys, I'm back, and it looks better. I think I can see it looks better. I got a whole new chat. So let me do a little housekeeping here. But I think this one is much better. Okay, so Bud's Coins is here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Arizona Drone Dude, much better. Yes, sir. Now all I got to do is all the housekeeping that I did before. I got to get the new pop-out chat up here and going. And let's see. Right. And Rick Halber. Welcome back, Joe C. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was just one of those, you know, sometimes you get a bad cell phone connection. Well, it's just something like that. So if you guys would just give me a, hey, Ray Kelly, just give me a couple seconds to get my whole deal rearranged here. I'll put a little music on for you, and it'll take me about a minute. Sneaking up on it, guys. Here, I think I'm gonna have to send a whole slew of new invites because I'm sure that this StreamYard thing has a whole different StreamYard link to it. So let me go ahead and get my stuff. It usually takes you about 15-20 minutes to get all this stuff set up in the beginning. And when it doesn't work, it's very disappointing. So let's see here. Get back into the control room, and that looks good. Okay. So now what I need to do is I just need to go into my email program, and I need to create a new link, and blind copy it to everybody. If they're trying to use that old link, it won't work. Sorry about this, guys. It was the better thing to do. I don't think we could have put up with a whole show of that stuttering and lagging. Here we go. Okay, the new StreamYard link is going out. All right, guys. So hopefully you'll get that email, and we'll see what happens. And I think I'm all settled. Yeah, that's this is the way it usually is. Okay, let me catch up with a new chat. Metro Drones here. Bud Coins and Variety. How you doing, my friend? Good to meet you. Met you on somebody else's live stream the other day. You asked me a question. I'm glad you came in. I'm glad you could make it. And I'm sitting on a chair that's a little lower today. There you go. That's better. Okay. Glad you could come in, and let me start off by making you a moderator and get rid of this stupid music. Okay. Give you a blue wrench, sir, because everybody in my stream gets a blue wrench, and the next time you post, you will be a moderator. So I think that I think we take care of that. Now we got Arizona Drone Dude. Thanks for coming in, man. You're a regular. And Rick Halber, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. And Joe C says a lot better. Yeah, great. Ray, hi again, buddy. How you doing? And Rick Halber. Artco, I see Artco just got the new link and popped into the green room. He's here. Bob Casey, how you doing? Ron Lockwood, good to see you. And Happy Lux from across the pond, good to see you. Metrodrone said, hi, Bud's Coin, you're blue now. That's great. Rick Halber, Bob Casey, good to see you. Okay, man, that was, I wish I had something a little stronger than water in here after that little bit of excitement. But anyway, here we go. All right. Let me bring in my sidekick here. Let me give him the entrance that he deserves. Hi, Art.
I got you.
He's playing with me. I can see his hand moving. No, you didn't get me. I saw your hand moving a little bit. But it was close. You did good. You did good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Glad to see you got everything working.
Yeah, that was terrible. And so now I have a video with, I did manage to put the thumbnail on it, but there's no description, there's no nothing, there's no tags. I'll have to go in after it's all over and re-edit all that stuff and put it in this video. Carlos, I sent you, Carlos is in, is the link still good? No, I had to restart the stupid stream, Carlos, so I just sent another email, a second email, with the newest link, so let me know if you got that. That's... There's no way in StreamYard to stop a stream and restart the same stream. If you're in OBS, if you're streaming directly out of OBS or any or vMix or anything,
right?
You're not. There's no third party that's keeping track of it. You can stop the stream and start the stream again. Whether you're going to get it any better the second time, I don't know, but it is what it is, and it looks like it's moving right along. I knew there was a problem, but I thought it might clear itself up as it went on a little bit, you know. So your show this afternoon, Art.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't post much. I kind of lurked most of the time, but I was listening. I was listening, and
yeah, Steve.
The politics.
Steve Carpenter was pretty active. He had a lot of questions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Steve. Well, Steve's kind of politically astute.
Yeah.
How he can live in California. I mean, California.
I know.
California's it's a beautiful state. Every time I've been out there, I've loved it. I've loved the scenery. I've loved the everything, but the politics of it are destroying the stupid place. And, and you know.
Yep.
Anyway, we're not here to talk politics. We're here to welcome Mr. Carlos back from the sky. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah. I'm on a different computer. Hope you don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Good.
I don't mind as long as we don't have echoes or anything. Everything sound good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Mitch.
Good evening. You're kind of dark today.
Yeah, it looks a little.
Let me get a light. I look better in the dark, Mitch. Trust me.
Well, okay, stay there then. That's okay. That's okay.
That helps
works for
with the little bit of
works for me. It
Cool.
works for me. Let's see if we got anybody. I'm trying. I keep swearing I want to keep a better eye on the chat. I
Bob
try,
Casey
but
saying hello, and Mr. Ray
Jody's here. Drone shots. Yeah.
Drone shots. I'll watch the chat, Mitch, as well.
Yeah, Jody was here he was the first one today. He, somebody beat him the last time on Thursday. Somebody was here an hour and a half early. So Jody was here an hour and a half early today. You won't see it in this chat, but in the chat for the first take one of this live stream, he made it in first. So he has resumed his title belt as the first one.
Good.
And I appreciate that. So Jody had said that he had a friend that was interested in how I went ahead and got that extension on my Part 107. So in case you haven't seen it, I did make a video about that today, because it would be easier to make the video than to try to explain it to somebody. And in the description of the video, there's the links for the various for the various pages, and it you know, it was a problem, and I always somehow just a luck of the draw for me, I guess, but whenever anything happens that shakes up the normal flow of things, I'm usually right there on the front lines. And of course, my 107 exam was set to expire at the end of March, the 2 years, and you need the 2-year recurrency test.
Yep.
So everybody who tells you how to do it, they say, always schedule your test for the first part of the month, the first day or a couple days, because then you'll get 25 months out of it, because it expires at the end of the month on which you took the test. So the theory is, for me, mine expired at the end of March, so I had planned to take the test right in the beginning of April. So on March, and then, you know, in the beginning of March, that's when all the stay-at-home crap started, COVID stuff started. But I called the testing center and got them on the phone and said, and they said, well, we're not open. When you going to be open? We have no idea. Okay, what do I do about my test? Because now, you know, as of April 1st, I won't be able to fly. Well, we don't know. There's nothing we can do. You can't take the test. I said, well, that's great. Now, not that that would stop me from flying, because right now I don't do a lot of commercial work, and the only thing that the FAA could even consider commercial is the roundabout me posting my drone videos on my YouTube channel, which is monetized, and I might earn 13 cents from it. And legally, I suppose, I need to be a 107. But I can't imagine them actually going out, setting up a task force to enforce that, you know, and have people come banging, you know, down our doors with battering rams because, you know, we're posting our videos 3 days after our 107 recurrency test was due. But, you know, it's always easier just to follow the law, do what you're supposed to do, and so I did. So then, you know, another month went by. It got, you know, all April went by, and then a couple of guys, and I think it was Jason from Remote Pilot 101 on Ken's show, mentioned that they had just put out a temporary FAR about the people who can't extend their licenses, get their recurrent test. And the temporary, the FAR says that anybody whose license expired on or after April 1st. So I said to myself, well, that's nonsense. I said, mine expired in March. And I said, so I can't do that. How could I not do that when I was like right there when you couldn't get the test? And then it dawned on me that my license did not expire in March. It was good until the last day of March, and it expired the first day of April. Said, oh, that's what they meant. See, it didn't expire in March. It was good all throughout March. So that was a little something that threw me at first. But then I said, you know, this is obviously what they meant. So I went and tried to find it. I went to Remote Pilot 101 site. I couldn't find a mention of it. I found another video on the thing, and all they did was talk about it, but they didn't tell you how to get into it. I went to the 2 sites that I'm registered with the FAA.
Right.
One is the drone registration site, the Drone Zone, and the other is the pilot site where you keep track of your certifications and all. Neither one of those had anything. So then I Googled temporary FAR for FAA Part 107 recurrence, and I found the number of the thing and got to the register. The thing is as long as a short novel. They don't screw around when they write regulations.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kept going and going, and nowhere in there could I figure out where the hell to find this test. So
Well,
I finally wandered.
You should have gone to Zork.
I should have what?
Gone to Zork.com.
Zork. Yeah. I heard you
Mitch,
saw the
real
movie.
quick, we just got joined by Mr. Nathaniel Lee. He said,
Hi,
hello.
Nathaniel. How you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, it's right next to the Four Stones.
Yeah, I know. Oh, here, we're never going to hear the end of this, am I?
Yeah.
So I finally found a reference to the FAA safety website. Now, the FAA safety, that's the name of it, FAAsafety.org or .gov, is a site where they have evidently hundreds or thousands of online courses designed for pilots. Part 61 pilots, you know, Part 135 pilot, you know, the kind of pilots that are not like drone pilots, airplane pilots, so that they can go on and take these courses online. And on that website, there is a 107 recurrent course, but it's not designed for drone pilot 107 only. This recurrent course is for pilots.
Ah, I got you.
Real pilots who happen to have a 107. And the theory behind it is that since they're a pilot, and as long as they're current, they're already being tested on airspace and sectionals and all that aviation stuff that they threw into the 107 test. And the only thing they're not being tested on is, you know, how heavy does a drone have to be to qualify, you know, the drone rules.
Yep.
So they have a short course and a very easy little test that just covers the drone rules and some crew resource management. But that's not for me as a 107 pilot. Now, I am a Part 61 pilot, but I'm not current. Because in order for me to be current, I'd have to have a biennial flight review every 2 years. I'd have to take ground tests. I'd have to, and it would actually cost, since I'm not flying anymore, it would actually cost me more to stay current as a pilot, because I'd have to go out, rent an airplane, hire an instructor, get checked out. You know, it's much cheaper for me to spend the $160 every 2 years and just take the whole damn drone test. So that's what I had to do. But this test that's designed for Part 61 pilots, what the FAA said was, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to let the non-pilot drone guys, F-107 guys, take this stupid, easy, can't fail test on our website, and we're going to let them extend by 6 months the time that they have to take their regular one, but they have to take their regular one anyway. So that's where this test came from, and I found the test.
Do they charge you, Mitch?
Sorry?
Do they charge you?
No, it's free. It's free. You take it. It's a course that's 2 sections. The whole thing took me a couple seconds. I got somebody wildly waving his arms in the green room here for attention, and that would be
Mr. Dan.
Drone Worship the Goat.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Are you worshiping goats now?
Goat means greatest of all time.
There you go.
Oh, is that what the goat?
That's what that means, man.
That's like boat. That's like boat means bring on another 1,000.
Pretty much. I do it
doing,
because. Well, hell, Carlos knows why I put goat at the end of everything.
Dan,
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the chat?
Well, I can. Hold on a sec.
No. I just want to know because I can keep up for you. Drone Shots just said hello to you, and
No,
he just said hello.
I can see the chat now. I just popped it up.
And we got Ron from 3X. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Ron.
Good to see you again, Mitch. Hello, everybody.
The traffic. Good to see you. So I'm going to finish my little story here about the FAA 107 recurrent, if anybody cares. I did make that little video, and I showed what the website looks like and how to get to it and how to find the test on the website, and told everybody how to pretty much take the test. And then you print out, when you're done, you print out a little piece of paper that you have to carry with you besides your 107 card, and then you got 6 months. So that means that since my 107 theoretically expired April 1st, I have until what, October 1st to,
Cool.
or September 1st, whatever 6 months from April 1st is. And I'll, hopefully by then the testing centers will open up, and I'll get my $160 together and go renew my license so that I can continue to make this huge YouTube money that I do.
Big time.
There you go.
And just for the record, Mr. What's his name? Bud Coins and Variety cares about your story. Just for the record, he's learned.
Okay. I think Bud is he had said in the last live stream that I might have been was it your live stream, Art, on Saturday that Bud's Coins was in? Yeah. He may have said he's wants to get into this as kind of a new droner or
Right.
looking for information. Well,
Yep.
we have. I didn't know if it. No, it wouldn't have been in the other live stream I was in. Was Love My Drones, building trying to
I
get
gotta
that.
ask you about that and about something else when you get a chance.
I got a chance. That's what.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were going on with anything else.
No.
How hard was it for you to go from the Flight 1 to the Betaflight?
You mean how hard was it for me to on that particular controller?
Yeah.
Okay. On the controller that's designed for Flight 1.
Right.
It wasn't. Why is Ed thinking of doing that?
Yeah, because he's having a dickens of a time. He's just not having any luck connecting.
Did he go any further than
one time
he
got the beeps where it goes,
yeah,
and then he didn't get it anymore. He's getting just the first chimes, and then things are connecting. They're not. He's frustrated. He's ready to just go like.
Well, it may be that he has an issue that's going to screw him up in Betaflight as well. But at least with Betaflight, if you know Betaflight, you can troubleshoot it much easier than that Flight 1, which is supposed to do everything for you automatically. You don't even have a way to get in to do those settings. But all I had to do, if I remember, and it was a while ago I did it, it just flashed Betaflight because there's a target for that controller.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 2 CLI commands I had to put in. I don't remember what they were. I found them. I Googled it. I just Googled, install Betaflight on whatever the name of that controller was. And I came up to a lot of forums and found 2 CLI commands, whether it was to remap some of the pins on the board or something. But it wasn't. But if he, Flight 1, and that's designed for Flight 1, he should probably continue to get that to work.
I don't know. He gave up. Now, here's my other question, changing the subject, sort of. Is it possible to have a flight controller that in Betaflight doesn't have 180-degree arming?
That doesn't have 180-degree
As
arming?
an option, yeah. It's just like, because I have one quad that it just doesn't, it's not even there. The option
what quad would that be?
The ETs, 115s, the little ones, the small ones. I plug it in and there's no arming.
Have you ever heard of a target of Betaflight that doesn't have the arming angle option in it?
No.
I haven't either.
No.
Not there.
I had it in my little Betaflight 85 HD. It had it.
This is
I've
over
never
2 years
seen.
old. I think it's. I would have to hook it up one day. Maybe we'll do it on a Thursday. And
Yeah. What version of Betaflight do you have?
I don't remember now. That's what they were saying. The Betaflight might be an issue. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that up.
Drone Days says he has one like that. Do you not have a arming angle?
Yeah, it doesn't give me the option to change.
It's on a configuration page.
Correct.
Correct. Huh.
I don't know. I've been teasing the guys over at Betaflight, the developers, man. I jumped on their Facebook and I was like, what are the chances we could connect Mavlink to Betaflight and run two parallel flight controllers at the same time? being able to consistently switch in and out whenever you wanted to. That way you could still run Arducopter Mission Planner. And I got into a big tango with one of the lead developers for Betaflight, and even though it was pretty closely matched on knowledge, he's like, dude, I don't understand why you would want to do that. I'm like, because it would change the game for fixed-wing gliders as well as multi-rotor pilots around the world, dude. You know, he's like, well, I feel like you're chasing dreams. I'm like, well, isn't that what everybody says? Imagine if somebody said that when they created Betaflight. You're chasing dreams, dude. It just means someone has put the time and effort in to create it for everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Dan,
10.4.1 is my Betaflight that I'm using. 10.4.
what?
10.4.1 was it?
10?
Oh, maybe
What?
that's wrong. Hold on.
4.2? I don't think we're higher than 4.2 right now, right?
That's the configurator that you're using. You have to go into the, look what I'm doing. You go into the configurator.
Oh,
hook
you're
up
talking
your-
okay. No, that's
I got a drone hooked up. So you go into the configurator, you go, you can see it, firmware, right under the
I would have to
10.8.
look up
This
the
says,
plot, though, then. That's what
yeah, in order to find out what you got.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll tell you, or you could go to the CLI like this, type version,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll tell you this particular thing has version 4.06.
All right, give me a
And,
minute.
this is
I'll be right there.
this is that little 3-inch Acrobat with the DJI HD in it. And I think as soon as they come out with the stable version of 4.2, I'm actually going to upgrade it and get RPM filters going. But what he's talking about is, I imagine, is in the configuration tab.
Mm-hmm.
Right down here, it says there's a section that says arming, and it says minimum arm angle degrees, and you set that to 180 so that you can arm the quad whether it's upside down in a tree or anything else. That was put in there supposedly to be a safety measure. So if you had that thing set to like 20 degrees, if the quad was anywhere tilted any more than 20 degrees, oh shit, what's this? It wouldn't let you arm it, and that's great for safety. So, but when you get stuck upside down in a tree and you want to spin your props to try to get you out of there, you're really in a pickle. So you set that to 180, and that's here on the configuration page under the section that says arming. And I've never seen a
First time
a version of Betaflight that doesn't have it. And this I gotta see what this is right here. This is I just gotta see this.
Okay.
Great Scott.
Nice.
Honest to God, Great Scott. Yeah,
What? That's why
I didn't realize we were having I didn't know we were having a costume party, man.
A fly DeLorean, dude. Come on,
I
man.
see it. That's right. I saw that. Did you get it? Did you get it flying?
Well, no, it's so I'm trying to finish the
let's see.
chassis before I mount all the motors. So we have the whole build, the 3S build going on, but I'm trying to figure out how light I want to go. I'm thinking about using pine across the bottom for braces, and then I have to get a foam pad for CG balance. Because I want to see if I can tuck the battery inside here. It's not like I have much
Where are you
room
going to mount
work
the
with.
motors? Are you going to have
Well,
arms?
the
or you
motors,
gonna
essentially the motors are going to be the tires, see? They're black, so they'll fit right in there. And then if I get clear props, you won't even notice it. It'll just look like
You're going to
black,
go props
black
down.
props down. Yep, we're going to invert the motor.
You're going to put some kind of little landing gear under it or something to keep it up.
Well, we will.
That's cool.
We
That's
will.
cool. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Mitch,
I like
you want me
that.
to plug this thing in so you can see?
Yeah, plug it in.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's what this is for. This is a workshop after all. So let's work.
I don't look so happy, Art.
You got it? Mitch?
Need a hug, big guy?
I got it.
All righty. Give me a sec.
Close that. There you go.
Connecting. Oh boy. They're my best people.
Why you don't need to plug the battery in for this. Just
No,
plug
I
it into USB.
Yeah, I did.
I heard all the beeping.
It did it.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you
Now I'm having
connect?
trouble connecting. Hold on.
What do you see? A serial port up there?
Give me 1 second. I don't know why. Sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't. All right, now it
But I
connects.
don't understand why. There you go. Okay. So go to configuration.
See here?
Yep.
Yeah, you have a section that says arming, but no
Nothing.
nothing. Okay. Go to CLI
Mm-hmm.
on the left, down at the left, at the bottom. CLI.
Yep. There
Click
you
down in there. Type version.
go.
Read to me what it says.
Let's just say Betaflight. Damn, it's just so small. Omnibus
Oh wow, April 17th.
0.7.
Oh, April 3rd, 2017. Geez, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy cow!
When was the last time you
What?
updated, bro?
I didn't.
He
I never
didn't.
did.
Obviously not. What's the
Wow.
version number? I can't see that.
I'm sorry, what's the what number?
The version number.
It doesn't have a number.
No, it does. It says
Something point something point
3.1.
something.
Oh, 3.1.2, APR, 3.
Yeah, you're,
Okay.
you're way off,
The
man.
last.
You need to,
yeah, you're way. Yeah, you're really ancient. Couple
Yeah.
years at least. The
Oh,
last.
yeah.
The last 3 version that they had with the 3 was 357. So, how long ago was that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I update this, do I have to rebind?
No. Well,
Shouldn't
what kind
have
of
to.
receiver? What kind of receiver does it have?
Where is that written on this thing?
You don't even know what kind of receiver. Is
I
it a
don't.
built-in
You don't know if you have
receiver?
a Fly Sky, an FR
Oh, it's
Sky.
FR.
Is it a-
FR Sky?
Is it a built-in receiver?
I would think yes.
Is it a
One.
one-board solution?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to rebind.
Well, I don't want because you have to take this apart to rebind. Now, here's the question: with a newer flash Betaflight, will it allow me to use the CLI to bind because it's newer?
Well,
not.
only a SPI. Only if it's an SPI receiver, and it probably isn't.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So no, you probably
I'm
have to
not
push the
sure
button.
you'd want to do a CL dump on something that old, anyways, because then you'd be going right back to reverting to where you were. You know, the
Yeah, I
idea
wouldn't-
from,
No,
the
I'm
idea
okay.
from this point on is to
So this
re-
isn't so unusual that the arming isn't here because of the old.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's way before. That's way before my time. I have never seen a version of Betaflight.
Okay.
In the time that I've been doing FPV.
I mean,
Yeah,
it just means that you haven't stayed current with the Betaflight upgrades as they've been coming out. You know what I'm saying? Your
Does it
configurator
fly?
just needs to be updated.
It flies. Yes.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
However,
What do you think?
However, I will say this, man. If you actually take a little time, man, to put some time and effort into Betaflight and adjusting your PIDs, I think you'll find that a lot newer versions of Betaflight have like dynamic filtering that goes into them that allows you to fly a lot smoother, okay, without having to hone the sticks in so much. So there are pluses to running the newer stuff versus the older stuff. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So just something to consider, man. You can really smooth out those sticks on some newer Betaflight stuff.
I like to think
Yeah.
I'm smooth now.
Carlos, it all depends. Listen, buddy. Listen. It all depends on how hard you want to work and how much you want to learn about
Oh, about
Betaflight.
Betaflight? Yeah, that I
Yeah.
understand.
I mean, and that's the key. You know, it's like you got an Indy race car, okay, and you got 2 drivers. One is a professional Indy race car driver, and the other is somebody's grandmother. Okay, now somebody's grandmother is not going to care enough or going to spend the time or even want to get involved in deciding how to tune the suspension on that race car to make it drive better. All she cares about is if I can it get me to the supermarket. So
Word.
it's up to you to decide as an FPV guy whether you want to become an expert builder, delve in and become an expert tuner, learn how to recognize when you need more P gain or you need less I gain, or most people don't. Most people don't.
Right.
And you might not want to, you know, with the style of flying that you do. And I don't want to I certainly don't try to tune a quad to the last. And
The way
it's
I
up there, it
approach
flies.
a quad,
It doesn't have any real bad characteristics, so I'm happy.
the way I approach a quad, personally, at this point in my life, although I do want to build, I'm buying stuff towards building, just so you know. But the way I approach a quad is when I buy a new car, I'm not going to get the new car and then tune it to the way I drive. I get myself used to that new car and then adjust to, does that make sense what I'm saying? I adjust to the new car. So
and
that's
it all depends on the quad, too.
With quads, I adjust to the quad and, do what I got to do to keep it up, fly, and hopefully fly well.
Well, like I say, that's up to you. You got something you want me to show there, Dan?
Yeah. This is why
I do want to build up. I want to learn how to do that, or at least repair, if not build.
There you
What
go.
is this? Is this your? Oh, look at. Oh, is that yours? Did you already do that?
He did this once before.
That's the one I built 4 years ago, but it's official. It is unique because it's the world's smallest actual flying DeLorean. It's the size of a Hot Wheels car.
That's cool.
And it flies around like a champ with inverted motors. So I've been telling myself, well, yeah, but they're not as easy to balance as you think they are when you make them out of car chassis. Yeah, that was a
cool.
6-week build, man, to build that little tiny thing to make it fly right. Custom paint job, all the works into it. But, I wanted to build a bigger version that was faster that would actually run on Betaflight. You know what I'm saying? That way I could actually rip it around, put an FPV camera in it, really tear it up and have some fun. So.
No, it'd be great. Make a great video, too.
Exactly.
I like it.
So,
I like it, man.
Yeah, it's a cute little car I built, man.
Oh, that's wild. I like it.
Unique. Flies great, man.
That's cool.
Anyways.
Need the camera.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very good. So did you get your question answered, Carlos, about whether you should screw at that or not?
Yeah, leave well enough alone.
On that one, I would. Now, if it was a quad that was relatively new, a 5-inch that had big, powerful motors on it, and you really wanted that thing to fly it like it was on rails, connected to the sticks, that's a different story. But I wouldn't fool with the last time I fooled with one of these whoops and all that stuff is when I did that Project Mockingbird.
Oh, I love Project Mockingbird
mod to the and you know what? If I was a racer, if I was a guy that was a racer, I would have really appreciated that more. But I just fly around, so for me, it didn't make that much of a difference. But I can understand the kind of guys who it would.
You are telling me that you installed Project Mockingbird on that, and you didn't notice the difference from stock?
Oh, I noticed the difference. It wasn't this one. It was the
I was
going to
say, dude,
the first Tinyhawk.
Oh, it was the most flowy flight ever after I put that on.
It was better. It
communicated with your brain. It was like, this is incredible. I feel like I'm talking to the drone in telepathy.
I'm trying to take you seriously with that hairdo, Dan. And
Great Scott,
Great Scott. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Bud's Coin says hi, Art. And,
Ed, join the chat for 5 minutes and explain to Mitch what's going on.
Ed's here. Yeah, Ed, you got a link. Come on in. Come on in. I know Ron. It's hard to get a word in edgewise, but
I'm here to learn. This is a workshop. I'm here to learn. I'm still a noob at all this stuff,
dude. All you need to know, dude, is
let her rip.
Let her rip, tater chip. That's all you need to know.
While we're waiting for Ed to get in here, I'm gonna show you guys. What my situation here looks like. No, can't do that. Sorry, but I'm going to show you. I don't have many around here, but I'm going to show you what my situation is actually looking like as far as my queue of crap I'm working on and trying to figure out. Dan, you'll appreciate this. So at any rate, here we are on my IV webcam.
Let me get this fake hair out of my eyes. What?
Which we talked about, and I actually got it working great. So I got my cell phone here. It's my IV webcam, and I can take it all over the place. And,
Dude, what is that gnome doing to that ball, dude?
this is I don't know. It's
Oh
he's got
God!
his,
Wow.
that's Donald.
Donald
That's
was
Donald.
like giving the ball dude
Yeah,
some
he was
love, man, behind the coffee
giving
cup.
he was giving
That's Mitch.
Walter
Right
a
there.
little run for his money. Yeah.
That's
Walter
not-
was getting spanked by Trump behind the cup, bro. What is happening back
This
there?
this is great. This is
Make
it
your
says
garden.
make your garden great again. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, here I'm just to show you. I'm gonna give you a quick look around here. These are the helicopters I'm working on, Dan,
Jesus.
and the rest of you.
I've
And
already
this is but it's ready to fly now.
Okay.
I went ahead, if you see this, and made the mount there for the GPS. I 3D printed that and got it off of the top of the flight controller where it was. And it's
very
all
nice.
adjusted with Autopilot, ready to go. I'm going to put Pilot also on this T-Rex 600 over here.
Okay. Okay.
I put Pilot in this thing.
There you
Right
go.
here.
The
And I
Zod.
haven't flown it yet because I just got it all tuned up, and I've learned enough about this to
Dude, the
tune it up.
Zod
And
is
this
a ripper, bro.
yeah, this is the Dart XL. It's got a 4,500 milliamp 4-cell in it, and then back in here, under the back hatch, it's got I've got the GPS and compass right up there, up against the top foam, and that's the Rush Tank video transmitter, 800 milliwatt, and this has got an F405, Maytech F405 flight controller in it with the Pilot on it.
Kneel to General Zod.
And then up in the nose here, there's a CADX Turtle V2
Ooh, nice.
camera, FPV camera, and
So-
it's just right there in the center.
So you're
And that
getting
has a
HD too.
Yeah, HD. It's got an
Dual
SD
lens.
card in it. So this thing, the next day where we have halfway decent weather, this and the orange helicopter, we're going out, and all I'm going to do with the helicopter is basically just see if I can get it into a stabilized hover. I'll be happy if I can at least get that. But that's what I've been working on. So just
Fun project.
for grins. Yeah. Hey,
Schnitz
the
and
camera
tickles.
worked good.
Chris Hope just joined
Camera,
you. Hello.
camera hung in there.
Good job.
Say
Hello,
what?
Chris Hope.
Uh,
Chris Hope just said hello to you, sir. And Dan.
Oh, hey Chris, how you doing? Is
What's
Ed
up,
not
man?
coming? Is
Is
Ed
there?
not coming in?
Yeah, where'd Bob go?
Looking for Ed.
Ed, we're looking for Ed. Here, let me
Fred.
get you guys back to.
Wilbur.
Yeah, he's ready.
Oh man. So it's been hectic. It's been hectic. So any of you guys got anything you want to talk about? Let me know.
Art, why are you being so quiet, bro? This is not like you, man. Normally you're this talkative, can't get you to shh. What's going on, bro? Who's the new lady in your life?
Mitch is,
Talk to me.
Hey, I do have a question. Mitch, now with the Velocidrone, you know I have a 5-inch. Would that be the micro or the mega class?
mega.
Not micro.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that.
I don't
So,
even remember it being presented with that option. It's been so
Okay,
long
so-
since I actually set up Velocidrome.
so I just get the drone light or the Velocidrone license, and I should be good to go.
Yeah, I would think so. You're going to have to. Well, when you got your new radio, you haven't turned it on yet, have you?
No,
You
I
need to-
haven't.
Yeah, you need to have some kind of USB remote to be able to use it, obviously.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it comes with a USB cable, and
No,
you just plug
this
it into your
doesn't
computer.
Come with the USB cable.
No.
What'd you get,
What?
man? The FL Sky i6? What'd you get?
No, I got the
Got the jumper T6. I mean, not the jumper, but the QX7. The
QX7.
Oh,
QX7.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you
it's
should get
got
a
a,
trainer cord for that.
It's got a mini. It's got a mini USB, not a micro, but a
Right.
mini USB.
It is. I'll tell you what.
Hold it up.
Well, it's this kind of plug, not the USB. So
Well, there's mini
Well,
USB, micro USB.
There's mini, there's micro, and I know that my QX7 has a mini USB. It's a little fatter.
and I do have
Let me see. Hang on a second here.
get your glasses on.
All right, now Art, are you green screened right now?
Yes, I am.
That's pretty good, man. It's pretty hard to distinguish the difference. I was about to be like,
You
sir,
like
you
that?
need to just stand up and play that piano right now, sir.
All right, Art,
Yes.
take a look at here. Hold on a second here.
No, it's
Let me
right there's.
right. Lift the rubber up.
There we go. And
Hold it up.
Does that have a 3.5 millimeter jack in the bottom of it too?
Yeah, but you need USB. All right, it's very hard. Yeah, that looks like a mini. I'll show you the plug here.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me make you smaller. Let me make me bigger, and let me switch over to this, and let me find it here. There it is.
Mm.
To your left, right there.
There. Okay.
Mini
You see that?
USB.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
a mini. That's
Mhm.
a mini USB.
Yep,
You see, it's
got
much
one of
fatter than a
those.
micro.
Bro,
Okay,
you
that's
got
what.
you got a
That's
sliver in your pointer finger. Are you aware?
a what?
A sliver in your pointer finger. Are you aware?
A sliver?
A sliver in your pointer finger.
No, I'm not aware.
Yeah, look, almost right where your knuckle almost meets the midway point. Yeah, turn your finger sideways. Sideways. Nope.
I don't know.
Other way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Other way.
Grabbing finger.
Other turn.
Finger extension.
Turn. All right, now bring. Wait. Pointer finger, middle knuckle.
This one.
Yeah, up, and turn to your right. All right, now bring it back in. Okay, you see it now? It's that little black dot. Right
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
I don't see it. There's
Yep.
nothing in my finger. Sorry, guys. You're pulling my leg.
Here's this magnifier.
But that's what you need. And of course, on the other end, you need just a standard USB plug.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that goes right into to the USB.
Yep.
And what happens is when you plug it in to the USB. Here, I'll show you on my
Okay.
on my jumper here. Show you on my jumper.
Which one we got here?
This is the T16. Now that I got a T16, they got all kinds of new ones coming out. The T18 and the T18. They
Dude,
got a
I'm
new
still rocking the
T16
original
coming out.
AF5.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to plug this mini USB into the top of the jumper.
Oh, it's a
And I'm going to take the other end of that, and hopefully it'll work through this extension. I got a USB extension way over to the workbench here.
right.
Okay, so when I turn this on,
If it will turn on.
yeah, you got to turn it on before you plug it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to
And,
OpenTX.
Now I'm going to plug this in, and you get this message up there that says joystick or USB.
Yeah. You want.
See it?
Yep.
You want to select the joystick.
Joystick.
So you select the joystick,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're ready to control. But you want to have a model set up
Right.
for the simulator with both of the radios turned off. So you don't really need to put out. You don't really
Right,
need to put out
you just create a new model and just label it sim.
sim. Yeah, I got one here somewhere, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I did away with. Yeah, here it is, simulator. And select that model. And then if you look at the settings on that model, get it so you can see what I'm doing here. If you look at the settings on that model, and you go up at the bottom where it says internal RF module, you see it says off, and external RF modules off. So now I can use the radio without actually having to sit there and transmit anything.
Nice. Okay.
And then I can fire up the simulator over here.
Batcave Games. I like that.
Yep.
I played Sim so much, bro. I wore out my USB drive on my jumper. I can't add any more models to it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I go single player. The model that I selected was the one that Mr. Steele recommended when he
Okay.
was talking about, I forget what the name of it was, but, and then I like this coastal, I've flown that before. I like this coastal scenery.
Right. Yep.
Don't get me wrong. The physics are not nearly as good as they, it's just not the same.
What, the DRL one?
Yeah. Well, no, the DRL one is fine. I'm saying this Velocidrone itself is, the physics of the quad just don't make sense.
Really? I kind of like it, man.
It's close, but it's just, there's too much perfection at certain times. And it would never fly that way,
There's no wind.
Well, maybe it's tuned real good.
Nah, man.
Maybe it's just tuned good. You know what I mean?
I don't know about.
But this is what you need to do, Art. This is just
Right.
what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
It'll give you an idea. It'll give you a rough idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty realistic. Especially if you want to practice strange things, like you want to power loop things. Like, let's suppose I want to fly through this hole here and power loop it. Well, I didn't do it. See, so this is a great thing to practice on. Let's suppose I want to fly through this
and
then power loop it.
Serious punch.
Oh, and I hit the top of it. All right, so that's why you practice in a simulator. See?
Right.
So let's try this again. Let's try this again here. Let's go through the hole here. Whoops. Okay, see, I'll let you, I'm not too ashamed to do this. Let's try power looping this again.
Heavy punch. Pull back. Let it roll.
There we go. That was a big power loop.
Wow, you went really wide.
That was a big one. Whoa, hello. Whoa, almost. Almost. Pretty cool, huh?
Now, see me, man, I'm a little simpler. I just pull out my little USB controller, and that's it. I just center out the left throttle as
But this
dead
works.
stick.
This works great.
This gives you an idea of how to move the sticks. I know Art's gonna hit the go up.
I actually think it's pretty realistic.
You have to erase everything you remember about flying GPS drones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right out the window, bro.
It's gonna be really like what you used to go up and down is actual throttle, and I always wondered why they called it throttle in GPS drones. Now it makes sense. Like
I'm glad. I'm glad you did that maneuver. I was hoping you were going to do an S loop so you could come back through.
Split S.
This is the most challenging. Oh, a split S where you pull up like this, roll over, and then.
But why do they call it a split S? Nothing happens. There's no S involved. I call it a loop.
But that's what it's called. And the opposite of a split S is called an Immelman. This is called an Immelman turn.
If I go to Germany, they're not calling it a split S. They're calling it whatever the German word is for what
Well,
they're
the
close to
opposite of a
condition
split S is an Immelman. An Immelman named after a World War I pilot.
Yeah.
And an Immelman is the opposite of a split S.
Well, that's it. From now on, I'm naming everything that is drone related when I come up with a stunt after the Picard maneuver for Star Trek.
That's it. That's it.
All right. From now on, we're geeking out on this.
And don't forget the
See, that's where you practice power loops like this. See.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm crazy. I just go out and try it. If I bang up my quad, I think it gives you the best of both worlds by actually just going out and initiating yourself into it, because then you have to learn how to fix it. You have to learn these things to solve your problems, you know. But
this
it's
is so
great
much
to get
fun,
you
man.
started and understand the physics of it.
It is, and a lot of the big time guys, even guys like Nurk and them, they try out a lot of their shit on the simulator. You know what I mean?
Yep. To practice, get a feel for it. Nerk.
I'm not calling it a split S, but you better do a
Whoa,
split.
hello. All right, enough of that. Anyway, that's what you need to be doing, Art, and
There you go.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So let's get back
looking
out of that.
forward to it.
If he does it as much as he flies his little
Get you
trainer.
guys in here.
What's
Do the
that?
Picard maneuver.
What's that cost?
Oh,
The
what,
simulator?
$20, $19.99.
20
Oh,
bucks,
really?
yeah, 20 bucks.
Okay.
Yeah, one time, not a monthly thing. Just 20 bucks. And you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it.
I know.
It's a TBS. It's a TBS thing. You know, it's the same guys that bring you Fusion and Rapid Fire and all the rest of that stuff. So,
Drone Days wrote something earlier to the effect of, yeah, I play liftoff, I think I got it down, I go on the field and crash.
crash. Yeah, yeah, but you have a much better idea from the simulator. So let me unplug a simulator from the quad and turn off my transmitter here.
I remember
There
the
we
first time I tried flying acro, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And everybody makes it look so easy, and it was like really frustrating in the beginning. Really frustrating. Drone Strike LLC just joined you, Mitch. Sorry to cut you off.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Ludsat's here too. How you doing, Ludsat, my friend? I plugged my DJI controller in with USB-C and played DRL. No kidding. The DJI controller from which drone?
Is that you, Dan?
I hear music.
Oh, is that what that is? Sorry, my bad. I didn't know you guys could hear that.
Is that you, Dan?
You're
you're the one that's dancing around, so I might be.
Yeah. I was about to play Asteroids, dude, but it just opened with some like magical theme song. I was like, oh, this is great. I didn't know you guys could hear that through my earpiece. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. So you're really all in on this Back to the Future thing, huh?
I mean, I've had the costume forever, bro.
That's funny.
I've had it since
Huge
like
fan of the
2000.
movies. I love them. Loved every one.
You need to get the big hat, the big, you know, the brain, the mind reading helmet thing that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I fly FPV like this. You know, when I go out and rip, sometimes I'll dress like Doc from Back to the Future and just go tear it up, you know.
I like the look, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, when
yeah.
this baby
Gotta
gets
be
88 miles per hour.
It's got to
You're
be
going to
warm.
see some serious.
It's going to be a little warm, don't you think?
It's actually not that bad, man. Once you get used to it, it breathes. It's lightweight. There's not much to it. Even this is pretty lightweight. It's more like a hospital doctor's lab coat, huh?
Dr. Dan, I said.
Cool.
Why is everything so heavy in the future, Marty? Is the world's gravitational pull off? They're just some of the most epic lines ever, man.
You know, wasn't long ago I watched the whole trilogy again. You know, it's fun to watch. Every couple of years, it's fun to watch. Some of those movies are just classics. I told Art about The Fifth Element. He watched it for the first time last night, and that isn't.
Get ready for it because what's his face? Michael J. Fox says that he's willing to participate 20 minutes of another movie if they make one, and Christopher Lloyd says he's up for being the full character of Doc the entire time to help Marty's kids in the future.
Really?
So apparently they're talking about making another one.
Oh, wow.
I'd be happy if they did.
Michigan
Yeah,
Adventures joined you, Mitch.
Who?
Michigan Adventures.
Oh, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for coming in, and I think everybody else I've said hello to.
Yeah.
We got a nice little group of guys here tonight. Yeah, Art. Do you know how to set up your radio for a simulator?
I just downloaded the software and I'm trying to install it right now.
Oh, okay.
Like 5,000 YouTube videos that show you how to get it ready for a sim.
Yeah, there's. That's why I'm not doing any of them because it'd be reinventing the wheel. But there's a lot of them. But setting up the radio, if you want to learn about OpenTX, Blue Falcon.
Project Blue
videos.
Falcon. Good choice.
Yeah, he died. He's not with us anymore. But yeah, but he sure he had a. I mean, as far as the basics of how to program step by step right on through it, it was.
That's who I used the first time when I did it on my own. Project.
Yeah,
Blue
very
Falcon.
good.
I don't know if Bardwell explains, but it's kind of quick and.
Well, you know what happens.
You talking about Bard smells?
Bardwell, yeah.
Yeah, Bard smell. I got you.
You know what happens is it's tough sometimes to remember what it was like after you learn a certain amount and you're talking to people. Some of the basics that you just assume everybody knows because it's so basic, they don't know, and it's very confusing.
Sorry.
Do I prefer analog or digital? Since I put in my DJI Air unit, I haven't gone back to analog. I prefer. I like digital. I really like digital.
Yeah.
Some of the things I fly, like I want to have the OSD, like the INAV stuff, that I can't get through the digital. I can't get that same OSD through digital. So I don't mind the analog. When I do fly analog, I have a certain some 1200 TVL cameras that I use, like the CADX Bretel I think is a great camera. But
Ron,
as
you're gonna
far
make
as,
me sick
why?
because you keep sucking down those Fantas like they're sitting still,
Oh,
bro.
Ron.
I see him over there every time I turn.
It's a vanilla Coke.
Whatever. Every time I turn, like,
Builder 710 has joined you, Mr. Mitch.
jeez,
Hello,
bro.
Mr. Builder 710. How are you? Speaking of Philly Mike, I know Builder is I don't want to insult him and say he's a big fan of Mike's, but he seems to do a lot for Mike.
Mike,
I watched Mike's. I didn't see it live. Philly Mike.
Philly Mike.
Oh.
I didn't. But I watched the replay of his first flight on his Mavic Air 2. Did any of you guys see that video?
No,
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
He had nothing but trouble.
Really?
It kept disconnecting. The transmitter, the controller kept disconnecting.
Oh, that's all bad.
Before he didn't get 100 feet out or 100 feet up, and it would disconnect. He'd lose the signal, and the thing would return to home by itself. And it did that 2 or 3 times, and he finally gave up. And
that's probably good. Don't need him
home.
flying over people in traffic, anyways.
And what they said, it was doing the same thing that the Mavic Mini was doing.
Well, he lost that
Wow.
many flying and
Yeah, that's what
I
I
I
don't
said.
have
It was
that
the same
problem,
thing.
dude. I don't know what anybody's
At
talking about.
At one point in the thing, it actually by itself did what his Mavic Mini did. It said, the home point has been reset.
Oh.
So all of a sudden the home point was set where it was, not where he took it off. And it did that all by itself. So he decided that he got a bug somehow in the over-the-air update. And the last I heard about it, he was heading home to use the DJI Assistant 2 and reflash everything with all the firmware to see. But God, if that thing starts to have problems like the Mavic Mini did, that's
Listen,
not going to be
people,
good. A lot of people are buying them.
Stop updating just because an update comes out. It is not necessary the majority of the time to update.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
go
it's
with
a
what you
brand-
got if it works. Damn, man.
A brand new drone, but a brand new drone should work. And of course, when you
Dude.
get a brand new drone, you definitely want to do that first update.
Yep.
You don't have to. I wouldn't.
There's Mr.
There
Ed.
he
Oh,
is, the master, Mr. Falco X, Mr.
Yeah.
Flight 1,
Mister almost threw it out of the window.
Mr. Race 1, whatever they're calling it today. I don't know.
Hey,
Hi.
we're not arguing power leads tonight either, man. We're not talking XT60 connectors. We're not talking
Oh,
XT9.
jeez.
We're not talking any of that stuff tonight, okay, Ed? For another day, sir.
So tell us, Ed, where are you on that thing?
I think the flight controller is defective.
And how did you come to
Okay.
that conclusion?
Because it goes back and forth. And now I can't even get it. Now you don't even get the second tone from the flight controller talking to the ESCs. It does nothing what it's supposed to.
Huh.
Stop breaking
I'm not
things.
ready just to order a Mamba stack and be done
There
with
you
it.
go. Yeah, you know what else is a good stack? A cheap stack is the iFlight Success, the F4. It's like $50 with the ESC and the controller, and that's what they put in the Nazgul, which is a great flight. Which has been a very successful quad for them. Dan is.
Yeah, I can't, because it keeps me, look, man, I get to this point at night where I'm just like, right, so I got to keep myself awake so you'll see me moving and trying to be involved. And
Take your leg.
I'll help you out, Dan. You ready?
yeah.
There we go, man.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
If you're gonna move, we may as well give you something to move by, man. Hey, we got the whole DJ thing going on here. Wait, I even got a better one for you. Hang
Feels
on.
more like a 80s porno.
Wait for it. It's a party. All right. It's amazing what you can do with all these push buttons, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So much for FPV Live, guys. Who'd we lose?
How many do you
Carlos?
Oh, yeah,
Carlos.
Fun.
Yeah, Carlos. What happened to Carlos? The music scared him away.
Yeah, I guess.
So, and you're sure you've got everything soldered on that board correctly?
There was nothing to solder. And
Well,
the other
you
thing
had to solder
too
on the
is-
ESC.
The other thing too is at one point the flight controller and the ESC, I was getting all the sets of tones and all that. I even made it so far as to be able to change the rotation of one motor and everything. I mean, it was ready to where it's time to arm this thing, and then it just wouldn't arm. But
How about
like
the ribbon cable that goes from the ESC to the flight controller board?
yeah, I've looked at it, and it doesn't look damaged to me at all. And I did. I mean, I unplugged it and reseated it and stuff like that, and it just not doing the happy noise anymore.
Ed, I have an idea.
Did
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Ed,
Go ahead.
I'm going to send you my flight controller. It's the
Okay.
same one.
flight controller?
It's the same one he has. I have it.
Oh, you got one of those? What did you get one of those for?
To try to aggravate me like they're doing to him. They're not going to do it.
Did you try, Ed? Did you try the Falco X target on it?
Yes,
Oh,
I
Dan,
did.
where'd Dan go?
Oh.
Dan disappeared now. Where'd the Falco X? I mean, did you try Falco X?
Yes, I did. And it
You have the
won't
same
even.
problem?
It won't even see it. But then I can pull it back up in flight one and it's there, you know, but it won't do what it's supposed to do.
Wow.
Mm.
Well,
I
if you
just
feel
think
like a
something's
2.5
wrong
hour drive, you can always jump in your car, Ed. Come down here. We'll see if we can.
Yeah, there you go. Hmm.
I mean,
And then we'll go-
I beat that dead horse to death. Beat that horse to death. I mean,
Yeah, we
it,
spent hours on that, trying all kinds of.
Do you have any? Do you have any other flight? There's a cat. Do you have any other flight controllers laying
Do
around
I now?
that you're not using? Do you have any other flight controllers that you're not using for anything?
yeah, I have a Mamba flight controller.
Throw it in there.
Yeah, I already looked at that, and I'm gonna have to change some pins
On the motor wires you're talking about?
on the ribbon cable between the ESC I got and the Mamba flight controller. The pin
Well, you
layout.
can. Yeah, but you can remap as long as your power pins correct. The power
No.
and ground, are they correct?
No, nothing.
Okay, so
nothing
you,
for-
well, you know how to pull those tiny little pins out of
Yeah,
those connectors and move 'em- yeah,
I've watched you do it before, actually, Mitch.
yeah.
Looks
You
like
get
a
yourself-
real pain.
It's a delicate little operation,
Delicate.
but it's delicate, man. It's a delicate little operation, but here I'll show you. Because maybe you should do that. Here, let's see. What have I? Oh,
Yeah,
what happened to my?
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, hold on a second here. Let's see what kind of magnification we have here. All right, we're gonna have to go small for this, but
Ed, as soon as I can, I'm going to send you that flight controller.
Okay.
well, if it's plug and play, it sure be easy to plug it in and try and see what happens. These are the kinds of plugs that they use on those flight controller boards. They're 1.0s. Okay. And what you got on the end of the wires here.
Ed, if only your eyes could zoom like that, right?
I know.
Hey, that's all right, Ed. You know that visor you have? I just ordered one of them from Amazon.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I need something like that when you're working on this tiny little stuff. But at any rate, it's this tiny little connector, and you got. There's one I'll never use with that many pins in it. And what you got here is.
Right there is
Let me
good.
get this out of the way now. You see,
To your left.
okay,
There you
there
go.
we are.
That's good.
That's centered perfect.
Okay, underneath here, there's these little tiny tabs. See them?
Yep.
And when you're working on a connector, you just put them up. Now, if you look at the connector itself, if you look at the end, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but
No, it's still
There's-
pretty good.
It's flat.
there's a flat part,
Mhm.
okay? And then there's a top and a bottom. Well, right here on the top, on the flat part, that where the little tab sticks down, if you feel real carefully, you'll feel a little notch, a little tiny notch that's bent up. Okay?
That's what clicks
And that
there.
little notch gets held in by those tiny little tabs. So if you stick this in with the flat side up towards the it's easy for me to say, with the flat side up towards the little tab here and snap it in. And sometimes to snap it in, you need to have some very sharp tweezers or a pin where you can actually grab behind the little metal here and push it in. And that locks behind that little tab, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So if you, what happens, what you're going to do is you're going to start, if you have to rearrange the wires, you take your little knife blade like this, and you stick it under the tab, and just lift it up a little bit and pull the wire out, and try to do it without breaking the tab off. Now you can push that tab back down, and you can do that a couple of times. But if you're not real careful with it, you'll break the connector, which is why if you're going to fool with that a lot, you should buy this for about $10 from Amazon.
Yeah, it's pretty
Link
cool
in the
kit you got there.
This kit that has all the different sizes of these connectors, and it also has a whole bunch of wires with the little ends already crimped on them. Now, you can make any kind of connector you want, or you can put it in one side and cut it. And after you cut it, then you can solder them together that way. But that's
Hey,
what
Ed,
you might have to do.
Did you see what Drone Days wrote, Ed?
Yeah, I just saw
Are
it.
you guys here?
Thanks, Drone Days. That's very generous of you.
Did I
But
lose you? I can't hear
30
you.
by
So
30 is what
hang
I'm
on a second.
after.
I've lost my
I have
headphones,
I'm
guys.
going to send it to you in the next
Oh, I
day.
see what happened. My wireless headphones battery has run out.
Uh-oh.
So get.
Get your regular.
Thought you guys were awful quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on a second, and I'll get to you.
Where are you, Ed?
All right.
Hold
Now
on, it's nice and connected
Okay.
for you.
I got you now. Okay. All right, guys. You never lost me, did you?
Nope.
Okay. Dan never came back in, did he?
No.
No.
Just got bored.
You got a question from Bob Casey? No, I'm sorry. Bud Coins and Variety. Do you use shrink wrap on any solder connections?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
man. I'm the shrink wrap king of the world here.
Mhm.
You guys all know that, don't you? Yeah, I do. I use a lot of shrink wrap, and I buy.
Cases. I bought the case.
I buy.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll show you how I buy it here. I buy it in
Yeah,
a
there
box
you
like
go.
this,
Mhm.
and I have when this video's over, because I didn't have a chance to put the description in it because I had to restart it. But after it's over, I'll go in and put all the links for all these different kinds of pieces and parts and stuff that I've bought over time to do these things, soldering tools and solder and heat shrink and different kinds of connectors, and a very inexpensive heat shrink gun that's about $12. It works great. This little thing right here. Most of the stuff comes from Amazon. You can return it if you don't like it, but works out pretty good. And what I have here, which some of you guys may not have seen the workbench, but I do have. Hang on a second, and I'll get to it. Here we are. On my workbench here, there's some quads, but I have all of these different boxes of things.
Right.
Screws and bolts and nuts and all the little tiny pieces and parts that you need if you're building quads, different size connectors, things like this, the plastic standoff for flight controllers, both in the
Right.
number 2 size, the number 3 metrics, and this is a bunch of connectors like standard RC servos use, and the crimping pins for that, and I've got the crimp tools and
Mhm.
and all this stuff is. I imagine if you spend a couple $100, you could probably really equip a nice little workshop with all the little stuff you need, because you're always going to be needing all kinds of little stuff. You need a good soldering iron. I've learned one thing, that you should have a set of tools for your workbench
Yep.
and a separate set of tools for your field bag. So, because what happens is if you borrow a tool from your field bag on your workbench, the next time you go out flying and you need it, you know it's going to be on your workbench because you forgot it. But that's kind of, and that's just a 2 by 4 foot table that I use. And you know, for building quads, Ed, you know that's all the room you really need.
Yeah.
And when I work on the big helicopters and the fixed wing things, I just have another one of those 2 by 4 foot tables actually behind me that, and this is what my my little room has. The studio has. It's crazy. You have to walk around here, you know, like around this and behind that and everything. But
Yeah, well, all I got to say, Mitch, is your workbench is a lot cleaner and more organized than mine is.
well, I try, Ed. I try to keep it somewhat orderly. I do have a workshop, you know, outside, and then in my laundry room, that's where I have all the drones hanging on the wall that I got, you know, that you see in the picture behind me here. That's actually my laundry room wall. But you guys all knew that already.
No.
So, where are we?
Yeah, where are we?
Where are we? We're trying to figure out why Ed's
I'm
doing
going to give
it.
Ed this flight controller, which is the same one he has. Oops.
Hold on a second. Let me make you
Same
big
exact.
there, Carlos. Which one is you? Here we are.
This is going to be.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
it is.
Same exact one.
Now that's hoping that the ESC is good.
Well, one thing I
Well, the ESC makes noise when I plug it in, so.
So this will be sent to Mr. Ed.
It does, huh?
Factory.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Carlos. What a guy.
Ed's like my brother from another mother. And older. My older brother.
Older brother, yeah.
Not by much, but hey.
Oh, Mel's here. Hey, Mel.
Mel's here, yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, buddy.
And then we have Michigan Adventures here.
Yeah, we had seen him before, and yeah, we got a nice little group here tonight.
All right.
This is
Yeah.
nice.
Hey, Mel.
Once again, we're
Hey,
just wandering around
So Ed, I was showing
different
Mitch,
subjects.
I don't know if you were still on my lack of arming on my EP150. Apparently, I have a Model T quad in the.
But doesn't it arm? It won't
Yeah,
arm
yeah,
at all?
does everything it has to do. That was just the arming for the 180. So in case I crash, I wanted to be
Well,
able.
you know, there's a CLI command for that. Even if there's no,
really? Okay.
Oh yeah, here, let me plug a quad in here. I'll show you. Yeah, anything, you know, that graphical user interface that Betaflight has evolved over time. But all that does is actually make changes. It makes changes to the settings, and if you have all right, here we go.
The
If you
problem
have,
is, Mitch, is because I don't think his CLI recognizes some of those commands.
well, it may or may not, but there's the arming angle should certainly be in there. So let's take a look. Let's go into the CLI of this quad and type ARM. Let's say get arm and see what comes up. We got auto design, gyro, GPS issue, beacon, OSD warning, alarm. I don't want that. That's all OSD stuff. Let me try get angle. Launch angle limit 0, no. Angle level. I say I've always changed it in the GUI, so I've never had to look it up, but I can't imagine
There is none.
small angle. Yeah, it's a small angle, I think is what it is. SMALL. Okay. And you know how I can tell? Okay, so it's small angle equals, that's what it is, small angle. So I go, I'll take this small angle, I'll go into configuration, all right? I'm going to reconnect to the quad. I'm going to go into configuration. I'm going to change that angle to 90, all right? And save and reboot. Then I'm going to go back in and see if it changed that small angle in the CLI to
Yeah, he doesn't even have the option there to change it to 90.
yeah, see that? It says, okay, so it says small angle 90. So what you would do, Carlos, is you put that quad in, hook it up to Betaflight, go into the CLI, say get small underscore angle, enter, and then it'll tell you small angle, and it says equals 90 degrees, allowed range 0 to 180. So what you would do is down in the CLI, you would say set, S-E-T, small underscore angle
180.
equals
Equals.
180, enter. Okay, and then it says here small angle set to 180. Then you would go back to the CLI, type save, S-A-V-E, enter, and it would go ahead and save that. So now, if I connect back to this thing and go back into my configuration and look at my small angle, it's 180 degrees. See, I set it in the CLI. So you should be able to do that. And I knew that was called small angle, but there's so many different commands I forgot. And I'm old, so I forget shit. So, do you want to try that now or see if it works?
If you don't mind.
No, God, that's what we're here for, man. That's the purpose of the stream tonight, not just to dance, but
Okay. Although, how would I'm not going to be able to check that because the arming. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. The arming is not there. You know what I'm saying?
no, it's the arming isn't there in the graphical user interface, but the arming is there in the command set. You just have to access it through the CLI.
Right.
So what you want to do is
Getting there.
get it plugged in. Get it plugged in. Go into the CLI. Type get.
Hold on, Mitch.
Okay.
I'm young and I forget.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So here we go. So let's bring you up here.
All right. Make this larger. Lows. Look at that. Plug me in. Hold on.
That helps.
Big time.
There you go. Betaflight.
Betaflight, yes.
I don't know why it doesn't connect all the time right away. Sometimes it doesn't. Does that ever happen to you, Mitch?
Slow board.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
All right, so connect.
Let's try it again. If not, I'm going to disconnect and connect again.
Well, you got to see where it gives you the COM port up top. If it says manual selection, then it's not going to connect.
I'll take it out. Put it back.
Oh, Rick Halber. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that. Yeah, what a guy. Look at that. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, my friend.
There you go.
Okay, so CLI, type the word get space small and enter.
That's it?
Small.
Get small?
Get small. Get small.
Isn't that what I wrote?
I don't know. What did you write? I can't read it. All right, what does it say?
I need my magnifying glass. That is super small. It says CLI, get small, small angle equal 25.
Okay.
Allowed
So what you want to do? So what you
0.
want to do is
Yeah.
go back down to the command line.
Okay.
Mhm.
Type set SET
Okay.
space
Okay.
small SMALL underscore angle with no spaces in it, just small underscore angle,
Right.
space,
Right.
equals, space,
180.
180. Enter.
Invalid.
say?
Invalid.
SET space.
Yeah.
Type it again.
Small. Okay.
Small angle.
You
Did
see
you
what I'm
type
saying,
the
right?
word? Oh, you typed the word equals, man, not the word equals, an equal sign.
I don't know what to tell you. You said equal.
You should have said equal sign.
If I said divided by, would you type that out too?
Yeah, you would.
Okay. Small underscore angle space equal sign. That's all right, Carlos. We got a little
I
comic.
thought he was typing too many characters.
Equals.
Yeah.
Space 180, right?
You can space. I always space before the equal
You
sign.
got
'cause
a
that's the way
plus
it points
sign
it out.
there, Carlos.
An
Got a
equal
plus-
sign, not a plus sign.
Yeah, back up, Carlos.
I did a plus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
You
know.
got it.
Whoa! Don't back up too
All right,
far.
all right. Small
Yeah.
underscore. Did I have an underscore
Yeah.
there?
Angle.
Angle.
Space.
ANGLE
Equals space
space
180.
equal sign equals 180. Enter.
There you go. Good
All
boy.
right, now down at the bottom line, type save. SAVE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't save it, you're going to lose it.
Save enter.
Save
Enter.
enter, and it'll reboot the board.
Nice.
Now, after it's rebooted, let's go check to make sure it's stuck. So
That it took. Right.
reconnect.
Hold on. Wow. Uncle Mitch to the rescue. I don't know why. Connect right away.
Well, what it is that that version of the configurator you're using, or that version of something, is so old
It's
that
not
it doesn't have that. It didn't have that in there, but it was in the settings. You saw it was set to 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Can you reconnect to it now?
I'm gonna. Give me a sec.
Hey, Jim, Above and Beyond Drones is here. How you doing, buddy?
I watched that video. He did, looking for Mitch.
Looking for where's Waldo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. All right, let's see. Yay!
Okay, CLI get GET space small. Yeah, because you can type part of it. There aren't too many commands that have the word
It's
small.
small enter, right?
Yeah.
180.
What does it say?
Allow
There you
that. 180.
So that's how you fix that.
Good job.
Mitch.
Nice
You
job.
what does Bardwell say? You're going to learn something today.
Yeah, right.
I'm working at it. All right, good. That.
Just still
Yeah,
not.
you gotta, and for example, when you put these, when you put the GPSs on the quads, like on this, INAV one, when you got a GPS and you got either return to home or GPS rescue, the older versions of Betaflight, anything before 4.0. There were no settings in the graphical user interface for GPS rescue. You actually had to go into the CLI to set it up, and you had to type in a lot of different commands and settings. In Betaflight 4.0, the devs went ahead and created the graphical interface for all those settings. So now there's drop-down boxes and check boxes and things like that. But in reality, all that stuff, everything that every setting you change in Betaflight only it makes the changes to the actual settings that are stored, and every one of those settings that is stored can be changed in the command line interface, and in the early days, that's the only way you could program a
Is the
quad.
command
So you want to change anything.
Is that the equivalent of DOS, the CLI, sort of?
Say what?
Is that like DOS, where you type in the commands?
Yeah, well,
Right.
it's a command line interface. That's exactly what it means. You're typing a command at a time, and you can search for different commands, and and that's the way all drones used to be programmed until these developers started creating these fancy graphical interfaces, which all they do is change the setting like you just did. So if that box happened to be there for you and it said set your arming angle, and you change it to 180, when you go into the CLI and say get the small angle, it'd say 180. You saw how I changed it there to 90, went back in and it said 90. I have to check and make. Yeah, well, I'm learning. So I learn a little bit every day, and that's what we're trying to do here.
I got my soldering iron. I got my new little stripper. I got that whole box of what do they call those things? Shrink wrap that you ordered. I went to your list and ordered stuff from them.
Oh, cool.
Most, I didn't get everything, but I'm working on it little by little.
No, but it's you get a little bit at a time. And
if I go to fix something, I don't have to necessarily build a 5-inch, but even to fix, and I got little parts to desolder and solder and just mess around. I bought the whole thing of wires that you have. I forget which one it was. The silicone wire, 30 gauge. Right?
Yeah. Good.
I have it all coming little by little. I'm going to try it, but I'm still scared.
You'll get it. You'll find, Carlos, that's a very enjoyable part of this hobby too, and you'll appreciate the flying a lot more, believe it or not, when you've actually building them.
Right. No, I agree. I'll do it.
I know that Ed agrees with that, don't you, Ed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bob Casey, he wants to buy that drone with the GPS on it. What you want this INAV one?
I'll take the Nazco off you, the one you never fly.
Guys, you guys are like vultures.
Not vultures. I'll pay for it.
But I don't want to sell it.
Okay, well then I won't pay.
Mitch, okay, next you have to teach them how to program in BASIC. Yeah, Jody. Well, an example of how that, in fact, I'm going to show, this would be a good time since we're talking about the CLI and you guys are beginning to get a feel for what it does. So I'm going to take this little Acrobrat and I'm going to plug it back in again to the computer. Here we go. And going to go and get Betaflight going again.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch.
There we go.
I got a split. I'm
Oh, okay, Art.
going to bed and go to work tomorrow. So thanks for having me, and thanks for all the help. And I'm getting Velocidrone set up as we speak. So I will catch you next time. So,
All right, Art.
Have
Thanks,
a great evening, and love your program here. So
Thank you,
take care.
Appreciate it.
Take care,
Okay,
everybody.
buddy.
See you, Art.
Take care.
John and
Hey,
Rick
Art.
and Carlos and
John.
and
Mr. Drone Days is a
all
soldering.
the rest. Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Good night, Art.
Bye-bye.
Let's see if we.
Ready.
I don't cue. Cool. I need some water. All right, so what I got set up here is so I'm going to connect to this quad. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that I didn't change that 180 setting. Okay, that says 180, so I'm happy about that. But I'm going to go into the CLI. And I explained this to you before, but maybe it'll mean a little more right now. When you first load a new target of Betaflight or INAV or RG Pilot or anything, it comes with default settings for virtually everything. Every setting has a default that the devs have deemed to be what they think is probably a great starting point for the widest range of quads that might use it. And that default, those default settings are actually stored away in the code so that anytime you want, you could actually restore that flight controller back to all the default settings. They're all in there. But when you go down here into the command line and type the word dump, D-U-M-P, what this thing's going to do is it's going to dump every command. And then as you can see, all of these things are settings. See how many of them there are? Look at that. I'm still going. You see how many settings there are? Every one of those things right now, everyone is set to a predetermined default. Okay. And if I had to reflash this flight controller with Betaflight, the last thing in the world I want to have to do is go in and set every one of these things again. So a brand new flash, a brand new target will come set to all these defaults. And as long as the setting has not been changed from default, in other words, in all the tuning and setting up that I've done, setting up of the serial ports, setting up of the OSD layout, setting up of PIDs and rates and everything, I only care about the ones that have deviated or are different from the defaults. You follow me on this, guys? Say yes.
Yeah.
Ed?
Sure. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So there is a command called diff, D-I-F-F, and that means different. So if I type diff and say all, what this thing does, it shows me just the commands that are not default. The beeper commands, there's 3 of them. Beacon commands, 2 of them. 3 serial bunch. Here's some auxiliary commands of what the different switches do. There's some masters, but that's it. That's all there is. Just those few are different. Okay? You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do, I hear an echo from somewhere. Who is that? Is that you, Carlos? Is that coming back through you?
Hello.
No, when I talk, I hear a little bit of myself coming back in. Anyway, it's all right. We're almost done. So at any rate, what this is telling me is that all of the settings that I have on this quad are default. Looks like about 95% of them, except these. So if I want to upgrade the firmware to the next version, let's say, and I don't want to have to go in and completely reset it up, I can save or copy these to a file. And there's a command way down here at the bottom, it's behind my head. It says save to file. And you just give it a name and give it a location. And this says Betaflight Acra Brad. It has a date and time. And I can save this. All right. So now what I've got is a file up here, a text file that has, now it has all the dump in it too. It has all that stuff. But down here at the bottom, if I find the command that says diff all, everything from here on down, I can copy and say Control C, and then when I go in Betaflight, after I've installed all my new software, I can just click this on the command line, paste it, and say enter, and it will execute like a batch file every one of those commands. Set this, set that, and when it's all done, you type the word save, and you've completely moved all those settings. And
So
when you go back
So in other words, it doesn't matter if they're not in the same order they were before?
No.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter which one you set first. Then when you go back into the configuration and you start looking at all your different settings like this here, you'll notice that the switches are all set the way they're supposed to be because
Yeah.
you've given it the command to do that. When you go into the PID tuning, you'll notice all your PID numbers are showing up here and all your filter settings. And when you go into your receiver pad, you'll notice all your information and all your auxiliary, because all this stuff is contained in those settings that you see when you do a diff or a dump in the CLI. This just makes it easier to interact with. And I was talking about that fail-safe GPS rescue. Where's fail-safe here? Okay, see these settings right here? It says GPS rescue and it says angle, initial attitude, descent distance, all of these things here. Sanity checks, see all that right there? In the previous version of Betaflight, there was nothing here. Nothing at all about GPS rescue. You had to go into the CLI, you had to type the command here, get GPS underscore rescue, and all of those different parameters that were set by those things I just showed you will show up, and you'd have to go in there manually and set each one of these to be what you wanted. So that's what the CLI does. Nothing to be afraid of. And like we did tonight with you, Carlos, sometimes there's no other way to change things. Now, you'll find, Ed, that if you want to try to flash Betaflight on that controller of yours, like I did on the one that I had here, I don't know them offhand, but there are a couple of CLI commands that you have to enter in that remaps some of the pins on the board or something in order to get it to work. But I got it working great with Betaflight on it. Might be a little drastic. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but I'll try to remember what I did.
Let him wait a day to, a few days to get my flight controller over there. You can try that, and we can eliminate whether it's the flight controller or not. And it's just a shitty
Let me try some. Let me take a look here, because I usually keep a lot of this stuff. Let me take a quick look over here and see if I have quads. Do I have the Nunley 7 here? Betaflight. This is the I was hoping I had saved those settings, but here's some resource motor remapping. That may have been what I had to change. Anyway, this was the CLI dump that I did, the diff all that I did after I got it working. So it's possible that by comparing what this says to what the one says from your quad, if you put INAV on it, we probably get it working. I don't think. No, I think that's all I got for you. I tried it. Anyway.
I'll give him my flight controller and we'll see if that works or not. And then
yeah. If you're not going to use it for anything, why did you get it? Where did you get it?
Not after he was gone. I got it. I won it in one of these, whatever they call that, chats or things.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. That's good. Cool.
But I'm watching Ed suffering through all this, and I'm like, yeah, that's all I need.
Well, I mean, I did it. I actually, but it did weird things, and I never really felt comfortable with it because I wasn't familiar with it. All I know is the motors sounded like they were going to explode. So there was something strange, and I didn't know enough about or wanted to spend, since I had no intention of using it on anything else. Brent Nunley gave me that 7-inch quad, which was wonderful of him. He had quads that he wanted to, he decided that FPV wasn't in his future. I think he had some issues with vertigo or dizziness. Anyway, for some reason he decided after he bought this stuff that it wasn't for him, and he gave he gave Mel, if you remember, he gave Mel a couple of quads. That was the one that I helped Mel set up. Remember that little amazing flight out there on the parking lot? And then he asked me, he just wanted to give it to somebody that would fly it. And I said, yeah, I'll fly it. And I do fly it. It's a great flying quad. It's got GPS rescue on it. And it's got that board. And it's got the big, expensive T motor, 55 amp ESC in it. It's got a gorgeous ESC. But it's got Betaflight on it. Got that control, and what I was going to do is, if I couldn't get that to work with Betaflight, I was just going to take that board, put it away, and put something else in there that that I knew would work with Betaflight. But it's a great quad. They keep trying with this stuff. They keep trying with this goal of making it foolproof, and they have some success with it. But from what I see, they also have a lot of frustration with it, too, like what you're going through, Ed.
Mm.
And
just so you know, EMAX Aerial just joined you.
oh, B-Back, how you doing? How you doing? Mel is still here.
It's probably the most
hey now,
frustrating
LOL. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mel, I was surprised you didn't do your live stream tonight. I kept looking for it, and
Because you did that live.
somebody had said you weren't going to be going on. Then I noticed you had done some earlier in the day. Was it a Mother's Day thing? But
Did a live flight.
Good. I'll have to watch that. I have to watch the replay of the live flight. I kind of missed that stuff.
Hey, Mitch, I took off with this little thing inside the house, a backflip and a roll. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Which one is that? Is that the Mobula?
Mobula 6. This thing is just
The Mobula 6. Yeah, they say that's a great little quad.
indoor doing rolls and flips. I was showing it.
Well, you're the man. That's because.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I mean, it allows me-
You can fly.
it allows
You can fly well. Yeah. Oh man, it's
somebody like.
Well, I'm sorry we got off to that really
I
shaky
feel like I
start.
learned a lot tonight. That's all right. No, I'm just sitting here and I think I'm gonna get that Velocidrone and
practice.
controller up to it and do some practicing, because I think probably by summertime I want to get into this. So it may be all Greek today. So hopefully in 4 or 5 months I'll know what the heck you're talking about.
Well, hey, listen, Ron. That's what I did this thing because of the absolute blast I'm having
Sure.
with FPV instead of the Mavic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavic stuff is great, but it's just only so much you can.
Oh
do.
yeah. Oh, I know there's a difference.
This is flying, man,
Yeah.
and especially for me, having been an RCer all my life. This is really what flying drones is all about, and I wanted to share the experiences and see if we can help other guys like you, guys that are flying the camera drones, actually get started in this, because it's not easy.
It
it's
does
not-
look easy, and my biggest thing is, am I even going to have the patience for this? Like, should I buy one ready to fly and just see how if I crash it, or should I build one from
Well,
scratch?
yeah, but that's just it. You buy one of these things,
Mm-hmm.
and you can crash them all you want.
Sure.
Can't hurt them. You crash them into your head, and you can fly them indoors, and you can fly them in a stabilized mode, which start to get used to flying through goggles, and get you used to throttle control for up and down, and then you take them outside and you throw them into acro mode where they don't self-level, where if you put it there, it stays there until you put it back. You have to manually correct, but that's what real airplanes do.
Oh,
Real
yeah,
airplanes hold
Hey,
the
Ron,
bank,
do you have children, Ron?
They're all grown, so
I
nothing.
was
No
gonna
one.
say, have you ever done any kind of FPV at all?
No. Other than fat sharks on my Phantom, no.
Oh, okay. So you
Okay.
have done it, though. That's something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do have
but you'll
a pair of fat
You're
sharks.
okay with FPV? Doesn't make you dizzy or anything?
No, No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
But you start out
They
and
have an EMAX car interceptor that supposedly is just to get people used to the FPV. You could start with
oh,
that.
where you drive a car around with it.
FPV. That was the idea with EMAX. They said that they wanted to get people used to the FPV, you know.
Yeah, of steering with the goggles.
But what Mitch
But,
is the best way to go to
Yeah,
start.
you get that, you get a radio. I would get the radios are cheap.
Mm.
You know, they're selling the jumper
I like
TC.
this one. If you're used to like an Xbox style, I know
Yeah.
you probably
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah.
If you like Xbox, this works great.
Wow.
150
Anyway,
bucks.
for $100, close to $120, you can get yourself a good radio. And
You wear glasses? Oh no, you don't wear glasses because you use
No.
the Fat Shark. So
Not
you
yet.
can wear the goggles. You already
Not
got the
yet.
Fat Sharks, right? You already got the Fat Sharks.
Yeah, I
right?
got the Fat Shark goggles.
Oh well, you're all set then. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
You got the gargles. So.
Got the gargle.
All right, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I'm tired, and even though I hate to
I
shut
gotta
it
work
down
in the morning, too.
yeah,
with 18 people in here, enjoyed it. We got off to a little bit of a rocky start, unfortunately, but
hit the like button on the way out. See you Thursday.
yeah, thank you guys. And I have to go back in now after we shut it down and put the description
that was
and all
what I
that
was
other
gonna
stuff.
This is
Edit
there's
up
gonna be a
this thing.
There's going to be a replay of this, right, Mitch?
Oh yeah, yeah. There'll be a replay of both of them,
Yeah, like
even the bad one,
I have to do
even
that.
the first
feel like
one.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let me
Well,
say
we got you set.
good night, Mitch.
All right, Carlos.
Good
See you
night,
the
Rob.
next time. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Always.
And who we got left? Ed, thanks for coming in. We'll get that thing up in the air yet, man.
All right, man. Thanks, Mitch.
Okay, buddy. Take care. And Ron, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.
We'll see you next time. Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
Take care.
All right. You take care. And that leaves just me and a monkey, and bring in my exit music here. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Get a little meringue going on. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in, everybody. I appreciate it, and look forward to doing this again next Sunday night. So I'm all talked out, and I'm going to go to bed. But for the rest of you, take the rest of the day off. Go out and play with your drones. And I'm going to turn it over to my my trusty sidekick, Spank, the monkey. Let him say goodnight. Say goodnight to the people, Spanky.